and welcome to the Den Creative. For today's pick a card reading, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than I normally do here on my channel. I'm going to be shuffling right here on the video. This is going to be a pick a card asking what you can expect for the rest of 2020. And I kind of wanted to have this reading be about things you're manifesting by the actions you've already taken or the actions you're currently taking or will take in the rest of 2020. So if you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to try to center your energy and focus in on piles number 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if more than one pile calls out to you, there may be a message in each pile for you. Once you've selected that pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamp. And I also try to pin it as the top comment. So without delaying this any further, let's give you a moment to meditate on the cards, and I will see you over at your reading. All right, for those of you who choose pile number 1, you guys have the card here that says, the law of attraction assembles happy relationships. And I'm just gonna go ahead and read what it says. It says, the law of attraction cannot bring you a well-balanced, happy person if you are not yourself already that. The law of attraction, no matter what you do or say, will bring to you those who predominantly match the person who you are, who you predominantly are. If you are not happy with yourself or with your life, the attraction of a partner will only exaggerate the discord because any action taken from a place of lack is always counterproductive. So for you guys, this doesn't have to necessarily mean anything about a relationship, but I do think for many of you, because you were attracted to this specific card, that it actually does have to do with that relationship. So for you, if this has to do with that relationship, apply it that way. If this has to do with your career or something else, go ahead and apply it that way. But what I'm really seeing is that your thoughts are really attracting what you're getting. So if you already have a partner and you think this specific belief system or thing about your partner, like, oh, they never help me around the house. Well, because you have that so ingrained and wired into your brain, you always think that, and you're kind of going to have to work on yourself to kind of rewire yourself and be grateful for the help that you do get around the house. Again, this is just an example. So for others of you, this just might be your partner not paying enough attention to you, or you feeling like you're not good enough, or if this has to do with your career, this just could be whatever you're putting out is what you're getting back. So if you're not getting back what you really want in any scenario or situation, this is just saying that you should probably kind of examine your own mindset, your belief systems, what your thoughts are, what your affirmations you're telling yourself, and try to be real conscious of what energy you're putting out. So let's go ahead and get 2 of the Moon deck. Moonology cards, that's what they're called. So let's go ahead and get you 2 of these for the rest of 2020 and what you're pretty much manifesting based on actions you've taken, actions you will take. Okay, I want 2 of these. I hope it's not too loud on camera, okay? There's one, and I want this one. Okay, so we have communication is key, and with the new moon in Gemini, and then we have confidence is your key to success with the new moon in Leo. So what's really funny about this is there's 2 mentions of a key, and what I'm really seeing this silhouette of this person outlined is like a keyhole. It's feeling to me like you have the key to make whatever it is you want to happen the rest of 2020 happen. It's just maybe your communication needs to be polished or expressed in a different way, or expressed for the first time if you're kind of holding back communicating about something. And confidence is your key to success, it says here. So being really confident about where you're coming from, like say you're asking your boss for a raise or some sort of promotion, being really confident and giving off the vibration of confidence is really going to help you actually get what you want and be successful. But communication is also going to be key. The confidence and communication are really going to go hand in hand for you the rest of 2020. And it's going to be interesting to see what all of your different scenarios are. You'll have to let me know below what's going on in your life. But what I'm really feeling is there could be someone in your life who is a Gemini, or someone in your life who is a Leo, or you yourself, Sun, Moon, Rising, are these signs. But these players are going to play a prominent role in the rest of your 2020. So you might want to keep a lookout. I feel like for some of you, you have a boss with a Gemini sun, and then for others of you, you have a partner with a Leo moon is really what's standing out to me with this one. But I feel like there's something you guys have been wanting to say or kind of known you need to say, but you just would rather like do something horrible than to have to speak your truth, because it feels like such a chore. And I feel like once you finally get the courage and confidence to speak your truth to a boss or a partner or whoever, it's really going to unlock a lot of stuff in your life, a lot of abundance, a lot of success, and just a lot of happiness as well. So let's go ahead and get one of our Heart Tarot cards here. Tarot from the Heart, I do believe it's called. And I just want one. I think I will go for this one. Okay, so we have Believe and Succeed. So you guys actually have two cards about success, and it's funny because this card actually goes really hand in hand with this law of attractions. Your kind of thoughts are attracting to you what you are getting. Your belief systems are really playing a role in what it is you're attracting or trying to bring into your life the rest of 2020. So if you believe something's not possible for you, then it's gonna be not possible for you. But when you're confident that something is for you, and you think about it and you dream about it and you're putting your effort in a positive way toward that thing, it will happen. And I know law of attraction, things like The Secret and stuff, it is kind of woo-woo and out there, and a lot of times it doesn't work the way that it is kind of set out. But what I like to say is, when you put action towards the visualizations, when you put actions towards the beliefs or the thoughts, that's when you'll start seeing results. And again, it may not be on the level that your ego is hoping. You could not probably just pick up a guitar for the first time at age 28 and play it for a couple of days and then expect to get a record deal. That's kind of, even if you want it so bad, it's not going to happen, because you need to put in a lot of effort and a lot of work to bring that thing to reality. Not saying that it won't happen, it probably just won't happen overnight or even within a couple of years, because music is something that you really need to put a lot of effort and time into to become better at. And that's the same with a lot of things in life. So let's go ahead and get our card from the Life Purpose Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. For the rest of 2020, what are you going to be manifesting for yourself? And I want this one. Okay, so we have Healer. And it says here, you have this spiritual gift of healing and a desire to share with others. So you're going to be healing a lot of your own internal environment is really what I'm seeing. There are other people involved, like I said, that Leo, that Gemini, involved in your situation, or maybe involved in helping you get to the next level. But I feel like this is you healing your own inner self, your own childhood traumas, your own wounds. Maybe if you have some sort of chronic illness or chronic fatigue or something that has been with you for a long time, maybe an old injury, this could just look like you believing that you can heal yourself and actually getting to work to do that. Whether you're studying Reiki or you're just, rubbing your hands together to feel that energy, placing your hands, say you have an injured knee, placing your hands on that knee and just allowing yourself to heal yourself. And healing, really, we all have healing abilities, absolutely, but it's our belief that we can heal ourselves. Usually that's what's holding us back. Like they say, it's not the chemo that cures people, it's people's belief that the chemo works that cures people. So I really do hope this message resonated and that you will let me know below what you thought. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you back at the Done Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 2, let's see what you can expect for the rest of 2020 and what you are manifesting or bringing toward you. And we're going to go ahead and start with the card that you chose as your cover. And it says here, I can replace false premises with law-based premises. And we're going to go ahead and read what's on the back here. And it says, there has been a theme unfolding here of replacing flawed premises with law-based premises, and we would like to leave you with a final one. We all make too much of all of this. It is simpler than we all make it out to be. Be easy about it. Be kind to yourself. Do things that feel fun. Look for things that bring you relief, and just easily move into that place, your vortex, where all things that you want have already been lined up for you. So really what this is saying is putting yourself in that state of joy, happiness, doing the things that you want, taking care of yourself. Those are all things that are really going to bring your dreams closer to you, because when you can give of yourself to your activities or your goals from a place of a cup that is well filled and overflowing, you can accomplish so much more than you can if you let yourself run completely ragged and let your batteries drain all the way and you're barely able to lift a finger because you have drained all your life force, because you're just putting that nose to the grindstone so much. And I do feel like many of you maybe have been really working hard on your goals or a specific dream or a plan that you've been working on for a while, and you're feeling like, some of you are feeling like this just isn't happening, or you're putting all this effort in and you're not moving anywhere. Like I see you trying to push this gigantic boulder and it's not even budging, and you're putting all your effort and all your energy into this thing, but it's not even moving. And what then I do picture you doing is walking away, thinking about, how can I move this boulder? And you're walking down the street and you see a forklift, or you see some sort of heavy equipment, and there's a guy sitting there eating his lunch, and you are like, hey, if I give you some money, can you come help me move something real quick? And the guy's like, oh yeah, sure. And it feels to me like, so for many of you, you're needing to step away from this thing you're just grinding and against, trying to make happen that's just not happening. Go take a break. Go allow yourself to have some fun. Go do some self-care. Go watch Netflix. Go do something that's not involving you. And I do see someone also trying to write a scene in a book or something, but it's just not coming to you. And the harder you dig in and try to figure it out, the farther away any cool semblance of an idea gets. So really what I'm seeing is walking away, letting this thing go to the back burner for a minute or two, maybe a couple days, maybe a couple weeks for some of you, because you can come at it with a renewed sense of purpose and hope, and just feeling like you're ready to tackle this huge mountain or this huge boulder in your way if you go allow yourself to relax and rest your muscles a bit. So let's go ahead and get some more information with our Moonology deck. And I'm going to draw 2 cards. So what can group number 2 expect for the rest of 2020? What are they manifesting in the rest of 2020? Oh, and we want this one. So I love the beautiful picture on that card. Group number 2, the rest of 2020. What are they manifesting? Okay. This is amazing. Okay, so it says here, have faith in your dreams with this waxing crescent moon. And then we have prosperity lies ahead with the new moon in Taurus. So you yourself may be a Taurus sun, moon, rising, have prominent placements in Taurus, or there's someone working with you, a significant other, a boss, a friend, a mother, whoever, working with you the rest of 2020 in some way that is going to bring you prosperity that has prominent placements or sun, moon, and rising in Taurus. So be on the lookout for that person. But really what I'm getting is you having faith in your dreams. Just because you can't move this boulder out of your way doesn't mean your dream is dead and you're feeling defeated. Step away, still think about your dream, but allow the energy to flow in the direction of the dream, because when we try to force something, it just doesn't work, and it's cumbersome and it's messy, and it's just like the puzzle pieces. When you try to make 2 puzzle pieces fit that don't go together, sometimes sure you can jam them together, but the pictures don't line up, and there may be gaps and spaces in the way the pieces go together, and it's just not, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel right. But when those puzzle pieces are meant to go together and they snap easily into place, that's when you know you're on the right track. So if you're really trying to make something happen that's just really not happening, It just may be that the timing is off. And I think that's all it is with you guys. I feel like you guys are on the right track. I'm not saying if you're writing a book that, okay, this scene isn't coming to you, so completely scrap the book, completely scrap being a writer. That's not at all what I'm saying. It just feels like maybe the scene you were trying to make fit into this book is the wrong puzzle piece, and maybe there's a different way you can go about writing that scene. So then with the prosperity lies ahead, I feel like no matter what it is you're putting your attention toward, you're still getting and reaping the benefits of past deeds, past actions, past karmas, and you are going to have a more prosperous rest of 2020 than you've had from 2020 up until the point of you watching this. So if you are watching this, I'm thinking in 2020, because this is rest of 2020 reading, you may have had a harder start in the beginning, with the quarantine and all of the lockdowns and stuff going on. But it feels to me like you guys really did make the most of that time, and now you're really reaping some benefits or rewards. Maybe you guys were promoted during that time or going to be promoted very soon. But it just feels to me like there is more money coming in, and it feels like there's multiple income streams for you guys. So whether you have a 9-to-5 job or your own business, I feel like there's going to be some other side project or side business, maybe an inheritance for some of you. I see this is someone, maybe this is legal that's been tied up for a really long time. You're in some sort of lawsuit, and you will actually win and get that money coming to you by the end of 2020 for those of you watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a tarot from the heart card. I do want this one actually. Okay, so we have the embrace card. So 2 + 1 is 3. That's that very creative energy. And what I'm really being drawn to is this kind of heart seed thing. I don't know if you can really see or tell what that is. My camera's not really wanting to focus on that. But there's this heart with roots coming out of it. It feels to me like, even though this is a guy, it feels to me like this earth is the womb, and she is incubating this beautiful heart seed, and it is starting to grow roots or veins, whatever you want to call those things there. And so again, like I was saying with the divine timing, it's really coming together for me that you guys are incubating this book, or you're incubating this business idea, or this relationship, or whatever this thing is that you're kind of have your mind on as we do this reading. But this thing is incubating. It is in the beginning stages. Even if you've been at this thing for quite some time, it feels to me like there is a lot left to do on this project, or your legacy in life, whatever your question is. But it's like in divine time, having faith in your dreams is really going to help incubate that and nourish that thing within the womb of your creativity and help it eventually come to life in a beautiful way. Because when a baby's born too early, there are a lot of complications, there are a lot of problems, there is even potential for death if the baby's born too early. So that is the same with your dreams. If these things come into fruition too early, they may not have enough sustenance to remain for the long haul, is really what I'm getting. So let's go ahead and get one more card from our Life Purpose Oracle. Okay, so for the rest of 2020, group number 2. Okay. How hilarious. Group number 1 also got the healer card. So I do feel like maybe on a collective already, at least in the 2 groups that picked this card, there is healing to be done. And much like group number 1 that had this card, I do feel like you guys are healing your own belief systems, healing your own inner environment, your own wounds, your own thought patterns, your own beliefs about not being good enough for that prosperity or for those dreams to come true. Embrace who you are. And I'm getting crown tingles. It's been happening a lot in my readings. If you've been a viewer for a while, you know that they have been pretty prevalent lately. But this healing card is you healing your own inner environment. Taking care of yourself. Self-care keeps coming up. I don't know why this reminds me of self-care. It just does. And I just really feel like you guys are, for the rest of 2020, really going to be putting your own energy and your own physical bodies and your own nourishment, what you're eating, what you're watching, consuming. You're putting that as a priority and kind of alleviating or getting rid of things that just aren't serving you. Maybe cutting out sugar. I see someone who loves their coffee with lots of sugar, or maybe lots of sugary creamers and stuff, and it's not good for you, but you love it so much, and it's just such a treat in the morning or throughout the day, or however many cups of coffee you like. but you know that it's not good for you, and this is going to be that time to embrace, okay, I know it's not good for me, I need to make better choices, because you actually doing things that you know aren't best for you is putting your energy towards stuff that's really not serving you, not helping you, and it's taking away energy you could be using for making your dreams come true. Okay, in group number 2, I do think that's all I'm seeing for you, but you will have to let me know below what you thought, and as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things, and I really truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. Alright, bye! Alright, group number 3, let's see what lies ahead for you for the rest of 2020 and what it is you're manifesting. So you guys selected the thoughts I think determine the relationship I attract. And here on the back it says, not only does the power of your thought determine which people make their way into your life, but it determines how they behave once they get there. You are a thinking, vibrating attractor of your experience, and the thoughts you think determine everything about the life you live. As you turn your attention toward the positive aspects of the personality and behaviors of others with whom you share your planet, you will train your point of attraction in the direction of only what you desire. So, really what this card is saying with the law of attraction is that your thoughts are really determining not just who you are attracting, but the type of relationship you're attracting. This doesn't just have to be with a significant other. This can be with a mother, a boss, a friend, a family member of some kind. This is just saying that this is much like group number 1's card. The way that you think that someone's going to react or respond to you is kind of what you're going to get. And I know people's past actions really do create this map of what we are to expect from this person. But especially if we're changing our belief systems, and especially if we're wanting something different. Say we love the relationship we're in, but some of the dynamics within the relationship or cycles within the relationship aren't really serving our highest good or aren't really what we want moving forward. We don't want to ditch the person, we just want to ditch the behavior or the thought patterns in that way. So what I'm really getting from this is that you can start changing your thoughts about the way things have been and trying to kind of create new neural pathways in your brain about what you want to expect instead of what you've been getting in this specific scenario. So this doesn't have to even just be about relationships. This can be about patterns at your job or patterns within your own psyche, just about yourself, belief systems about, I just see like self-limiting beliefs about you succeeding in life might be up for examination with you. But the way you think about things is really going to shape and create those neural pathways in your brain that, you know, that well-worn path of what triggers you and then what you think of it is very easy to just keep going on that same well-worn path. But what this is asking you to do is to kind of branch out and start forming a new path, a more maybe even direct path to what you want. So starting here to get what you want. And I hope that makes sense. I'm like jumbling it all up in my head, what I'm trying to say with what I'm seeing, and it's just like, I don't know if I'm saying this right. But I think maybe these other cards will help give us clarification if this is confusing to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our Moonology cards. So I want 2 cards from this deck, and we're just going to say, what should group number 3 be expecting for the rest of 2020? What are they manifesting? Woo, we got one. We got a jumper. Okay, so we have, your dreams need a practical plan with the full moon in Taurus. And I also want this one right here. Awesome. Okay, so step out of your comfort zone with that North Node. So this is kind of what I was saying about, you know, what's comfortable is that well-worn path of your neural pathways. And this is saying, you know, step away from that. Forge that new path, because that is going to bring you closer to what you desire for the rest of 2020. And wherever your North Node or your Rahu does fall in your chart, go ahead and look where that is in your birth chart, because that's going to give you some additional guidance as to where you're shaping new neural pathways. So for me, my North Node is in my 9th house, so that could be about my belief systems or traveling long distances. And in Vedic astrology, the 9th house also represents your father's teachings, gurus, spiritual people, stuff like that. So and publishing as well. So step out of your comfort zone. Don't go for what you normally would do, especially in a relationship. So if this is in your 7th house, if you have your North Node or Rahu in your 7th house, this is saying there's specific dynamics within that relationship that are maybe comfortable, but they aren't working for your highest evolvement or your highest good in the long run. So stepping out of those, examining what you can do to change it, what other steps you could take to try to branch out or do something different is going to help you for the rest of 2020. So with your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus, I feel like many of you have these dreams or these desires or these things that you want to happen, but you just don't really have a game plan or a roadmap for how to get there. Maybe you know a couple of steps you need to do to make this thing get started, or maybe you also know kind of your end point, but you don't really know all the little steps along the way. So what this is really asking you to do is, for instance, if you're going on a road trip, you maybe put your beginning place in the Google map and then your destination point in the Google map, and then it will kind of map out a couple of different routes for you, and you can kind of see, okay, this might be a good one because I can stop along the way, visit my aunt, and it's more scenic, whatever. You kind of can even run through in your mind a couple of different scenarios for what's the best way to go about this trip, or what's the best way to go about making whatever this thing is that you're changing your thoughts about. How can you make this different and work better for you and your highest good? So let's go ahead and get a Tarot from the Heart card. What can group number 3 expect for the rest of 2020? What are they manifesting? I want this one. Okay, healing begins. And this is absolutely hilarious because in the first 2 groups, they got the healer card from our life purpose deck, and if we get that a 3rd time, I think I'm just gonna walk away with my arms thrown up, because I love when that happens. It's just kind of trippy, kind of freaky, but I love when it happens. It's like, okay, I'm done. Spirit is just too cool today, too cool for school. But with this number 6 card, this healing begins, it just feels much like groups 1 and 2, that you guys are healing your thought patterns. You're healing those belief systems and trying to pave a way. This is very collective energy because all 3 groups have touched on this sort of theme. The fact that this is happening with so many people is, as a whole, the human race is changing their belief systems. They are changing the way that they think about themselves. And healing is going to start within your heart, within yourself. So it doesn't start by blaming other people for your traumas or your wounds or your illnesses or your injuries. It starts with loving yourself and loving those who have done you wrong or hurt you in the past. That's how healing begins. Well, technically, healing actually begins when you realize you need healing and pinpointing what needs healed. That's where healing begins. And as I say that, I'm really drawn onto this hand where it says health. So for some of you, this could be healing your diet and your exercise, and your wellness and your health is really going to be important for the rest of 2020. And much like I think it was group 2, cutting out sugar for some of you may be really imperative. I see someone drinking a lot of soda, and of course drinking soda isn't for your optimal health, but it just tastes so good, it's so refreshing, it's so comforting to just come home from work and have that soda or have that wine or whatever it is. But again, we're stepping out of comfort zones. We're not doing what feels good and easy anymore. We're ready to level up. We're ready to take steps in the direction of our dreams. So for some of you too, with this 6 here, I'm seeing that you may have your North Node in your 6th house, which your 6th house is your health and the house of diseases. So again, your North Node may be residing there or even transiting there currently. You may want to look that up just to see. And because healing and 6th house things are really going to be important. So for 6th house, that also involves your day-to-day work routine. So some of you may be healing a rift you've had with someone at work, or just letting someone go that you maybe had a close relationship with at work, that you're just like, okay, we used to be close, now you're kind of a bee, but I'm not gonna let it ruin my work day, so you do you, boo, and I'll do me, and it'll just be great. So it's like you're letting someone or something go that's not really serving your day-to-day routine. So for some of you, that could be a coworker that you used to be friends with, like the example I just gave. For others of you, that could be wasting time on social media when you know you should be working. It's going to be different for each of you, and you'll kind of know what's meant for you. It'll be kind of popping into your intuition as we do the reading. Okay, so let's get one more card from our Life Purpose Oracle deck. And again, if we get the healing card, I am going to be excited as all get out. Okay. But I think we already got our healing message, so it probably isn't. Okay. But it's funny because we do have that medical kind of symbol, the caduceus, with the snakes wrapped around it. So healing is a very essential part of your guys' path the rest of 2020. But it says here support. Your life purpose fully supports you. And it's funny, I don't think I mentioned about the 44. That is the number of your support from your guides and your angels, that building that new foundation of what's going to serve you. So for many of you, this could be some sort of tower moment that happened for you earlier on in 2020. Maybe you ended a relationship. Maybe you left a job. Maybe you just were over some pattern or dynamic within a relationship that you're like, again, I love you, but I don't love the way this is going for us, so let's change it up. But you have the support of your guides and your angels. It's very clear to me now that you have that angelic support. You have the support of God, the universe, the angel, source, whatever you want to call that. And your life purpose fully supports you. So for some of you, you're stepping out of an old job and trying to find a way forward where you can be living your life purpose. And I do see with many of you guys, it could have to do with healing other people. Maybe you want to go to nursing school or medical school or learn Reiki or some way to heal other people. That could be energy work or massage for some of you, but I'm really seeing you guys wanting to be able to finally live a life of purpose and be able to make money doing that, because I feel like many of you guys have in the past worked jobs you weren't really in alignment with, but they paid the bills, so you just did what you needed to do to get through. But you guys, if you're still in that type of dynamic, you're coming to a point in your life the rest of 2020 where you're realizing, you know what? I don't want to live my life like this anymore. I don't want to just have to work a job that I don't even resonate with just to pay my bills, just to get by. You're going to start seeking out new certifications or going back to school or finding a new way to support yourself. But for others of you who are already living that purpose, already happy where you're at, this just could be seeking support from other people and getting that support. I see someone helping you pay for college. Maybe you have a grandparent that's helping you pay for college, or a parent that's really helping you get on your feet by you living with them again, or you're helping other people get back on their feet in some way. I'm seeing both roads, so whatever resonates for you. But I'm feeling like the more attention you put toward what you feel is your life purpose, the more you're going to get out of it, the more you're going to start attracting abundance into your life that is going to support you financially, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So yes, you guys, I think that's all I'm seeing for you, but you will have to let me know below what you thought. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 4, let's go ahead and find out what you can expect for the rest of 2020 and what you are manifesting the rest of this year. And we have here written, my every thought is attracting its vibrational essence. And it says here, whether you are thinking about wanted things or unwanted things, you are still sending out a request to attract more things like the subject of your thought. And all things that happen to you, all people, things, experiences that come to you, come in response to your vibrational invitation. Noticing how things are turning out for you is one very clear way of understanding which vibrational requests you are emanating, because you are always getting the essence of what you are thinking about, whether you want it or not. So I think for many of you, this is just calling you forward to say, what thoughts are you letting kind of run away with you on that runaway train? If you kind of go on this downward spiral of negative thoughts about maybe the way the world is right now, you're like, we're all going to end up in FEMA camps, we're all going to be poisoned to death, like the way the world is so backwards. It is absolutely backwards, but the more attention you dwell and put toward things that are not working in your life, whether that's relationships, the state of the world, how you don't like your job, whatever it is that you put a lot of your thoughts towards in that negative sense, it's like this says, sending out that signal to the universe that you're ready for more of that. So the more you can cultivate and put intention into every thought that you have, and I know it's hard because they do say you have something around 60,000 different thoughts in one day. That's a lot of policing to do if you're trying to manage all those thoughts and trying to be really intentional and present within your thoughts. But this is where meditation can really come in handy for you guys. Meditation can be that dedicated time where you put your intention into your thoughts. Maybe you're visualizing the life you want during your meditation, or maybe you're visualizing things that aren't working in your job or in your relationship, but you're not visualizing, oh yeah, so-and-so at work said this to me, what a bee, or my significant other isn't doing what I want them to do. Whatever the thoughts are, you can dwell on the way things are that you don't like it, or you can envision those same scenarios that bee at work is actually being really nice to you, or your significant other is acting in the way that you would desire them to act. And of course, we can't control other people's actions and all of that, but we can actually help shift the way people treat us by shifting what we have up as our boundaries. Like if we allow people to walk all over us, they're going to walk all over us. But if we say, these are my boundaries, even if you don't say them outright, but you kind of act in accordance with the boundaries that you are setting, people will start to go along with that because they know they can't step beyond your boundaries. So all the thoughts you're thinking, the more you can put into being intentional about your thoughts, thinking about what you want, not dwelling on what you don't want, is going to be huge and very key for you guys coming up in the rest of 2020. So let's go ahead and get a couple of these Moonology cards. What can group number 4 expect for the rest of 2020? What are they manifesting? Okay, I want this one. A fiery climax approaches with the full moon in Aries. And I want this one. Communication is key. And we did have this with group number 1, I believe. And this is the new moon in Gemini. So if you are asking about a love relationship, or you're thinking about a love relationship within this reading, your significant other or person you're asking about could be an Aries sun, moon, rising, Gemini sun, moon, rising, or prominent placements in those signs within your chart, or their chart actually. Or you are just having a lot of energy in the Aries house within your own birth chart and within the Gemini house within your own birth chart. So the main thing I'm really taking from this is the fact that your communication, and it's funny because I said something about the key to the rest of your 2020, and then we get a card that has the word key within it. So I'm feeling like communication is really going to unlock something for you. It's going to, speaking your truth especially, if there's some, I'm seeing like boundaries that keep being crossed, or you have boundaries or don't have boundaries in place and people are kind of coming up against that, or if you don't have those boundaries in place, people are mowing you over to get you to do what they want, is really what I'm feeling. But communication is going to be key. So if there are people stepping out of line in the way you don't really want them to be acting, you're going to need to speak up and let them know, hey, I appreciate what you're trying to do here, but, and then speak your truth. Or when you say these things or do these things, this is how it makes me feel. Whatever it is you want to speak, instead of just thinking those things and then going on a downward spiral of no one listens to me, no one pays attention to me, things never work out for me, whatever negative thought patterns we all can get into. Instead of just thinking what you want to happen into reality, actually speak it into reality. Because when you speak, your voice has a vibration that has different codes and different, what's the word I'm looking for? Different vibrations, different tones to attract what you want. So that's why they say when you can speak affirmations out loud, they are even more powerful. And they don't call it spelling for nothing. Words are spells that we cast. So every word we say, whether in our own thoughts or out loud, is going to help shape our reality and what is coming toward us. But with this fiery climax approaches card, I don't feel like this is a bad climax. I feel like this is something good coming to you, something you've really been wanting to happen in your life for a while. So if you've been on a search for a job, it's going to come to a point where there's not only going to be one job offered you, you're going to get like a call or 2 or 3 within a couple of days, all offering you a job. And then it's going to be up to you to decide, well, which one do I want? So it's something exciting like that. And it's going to be different for all of you, but I do feel like for someone else, this is going to be some sort of surprise where a loved one maybe that you haven't seen for a while surprises you and comes to town and calls you, and you're thinking, okay, they're just calling me to talk, and then they're like, hey, I'm in town. What do you want to do tonight? And you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here. And then for others of you, this is just, I do feel like, not that it's negative, but this is something in your work environment where something's been going on for so long, and it finally comes to a point where it needs to be addressed, and that's where your communication is really going to come into play. And I do see that it's you guys have taken on too much at work, or you're having to do other people's jobs because they're not really doing their own job, or something along those lines. But you're going to have to speak up about those boundaries and tell this person, hey, I can't do your job and my job, or I know in the past that I've done all these other things and I just can't do that anymore. I've got my own stuff going on, so you'll have to do whatever. So it's going to be different for each of you, but you'll kind of know as we're talking what's going on for you. So let's go ahead and get a card from our Tarot from the Heart, I do believe this is called. Okay, group number 4. What can they expect for the rest of 2020? What are they manifesting? This one. Okay, we have the Shine card, and 1 + 9 is 10. There is a new beginning coming for you guys, and you are really finally stepping into your truth, or shining that light even brighter than you had been. That could be that fiery climax that's approaching for some of you, is just the realization that you are a badass and you are ready to own who you are and what you do in this world. For some of you, that could look like telling, with the communication, telling a family member or something a truth about yourself. For some of you, that could be you coming out of the closet with your sexual orientation. Or for others of you, that could be coming out of the spiritual closet, letting people know about your spirituality. This could just be shining your light without having to say anything, so to speak, but you are communicating who you are just through your actions. That could be a form of communication as well. Just being who you are, being more of who you are, stepping into who you are. And I see for some of you that includes the way you look. So maybe if you have naturally curly hair and you've been straightening it for years, maybe you're coming to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm ready to embrace who I am and what God gave me or what the universe gave me, and I'm gonna rock my natural hair. Something like that. And that could even go with like hair dyes, hair colors. Maybe you've been going gray for a while and you've been coloring your hair obsessively trying to hide that gray, but you're come to the point now where you're like, you know what? I've earned every single one of these gray hairs and I'm gonna rock this because I think I look good this way. It's gonna be different for each of you, but I just see those 2 very specific scenarios. So if you are either of those scenarios, you will have to let me know below, because I love when I can pick up on specific people's energy and get that confirmation back that I did in fact pick up on your energy. But you guys are just shining your light. You're living your truth. You're speaking your truth. You're communicating what you want in this world to make it a reality, because the more you can live in your authentic light, the more you're going to attract to you that is authentic and of your highest, most best good. I mean, I know that wasn't very good grammar, but I just see, like, I just heard living your best life as I was saying that. So it's like, you guys are just done playing small, you're done trying to fit into the molds other people are putting on you, and you're ready to speak it out, I do feel, for many of you. So let's go ahead and get our last card. And groups number 1 and 2 got the Healer card from this deck, and group 3 got one that was similar. So let's see what you guys get. But we have Talk to Your Angels. Okay, so instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. And for some of you, that could be your communication, because this card is right below the communication, that you're really stepping up your spiritual communication game. You're talking to your guides, you're talking to your angels, you're getting confirmations from them, because when you communicate to them, they can more easily communicate to you because they know that you are more aware. Because they're constantly talking to us. It's just, are we paying attention or not? They are sending us signs and symbols and people and synchronicities into our lives that we may or may not understand are a sign from our guides and angels, because we may be really buried in the mundane things or on a downward thought spiral with what's going on in the world. You know, we could just be any given place at any given time. But the more you can openly communicate with your guides and angels, the more you can get that clear communication back from them, because you're on higher alert looking for the signs and symbols and synchronicities. And right as I said that, I saw someone walking through a park and finding a bird feather, in particular like a black feather or a crow feather, raven feather. And that's going to be a message to you from your guides and your angels, and you can actually look up what that means. So for others of you, it could be a white feather or a penny. I mean, it's going to be different for each of you, but I did see that one specific person walking through a park or on a walk, and you find this really beautiful feather, and you just know that it is a message from your angels. So be talking to those guides and angels, because your spiritual communication, your communication beyond the veil, your mediumship skills, your clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, all the clairs, is going to be amped up the rest of 2020, because I feel like you guys are ready to pay more attention to the spiritual sides of yourself, ready to embrace who you are on a more soul level, not an ego level, and you're just ready for this new beginning with this 19, new beginning. And by speaking your truth, that's what's going to create all of this and bring it to reality for you guys. So I really do hope this helped you guys and this resonated, but you will have to let me know below what you thought. I always love to hear what you guys have to say about your reading. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye.